Okay, peace and blessings and namaste. It is I, Sophie, today, and I'm here to share with you a very funny story that happened to me last night. And it's going to expose some things in me, okay? It has nothing to do with you this time. It has everything to do with me. So, it is a little bit embarrassing, so I'm just going to go through it. Okay, so recently, okay, for those of you who have followed my channel, you know that I'm used to uploading videos like on a consistent basis for both the channel and the Patreon. But for the past couple of weeks, I have been pretty consumed. Okay, and I've been consumed with this lecture and this PowerPoint presentation that I had to get done, and I had to get it perfected. Okay, and it was dealing with the crucified Saviorist. So, you know, I can't remember a lot of the college stuff, you know, the formatting, citing sources, and things of that nature. And it was very, very important to me to channel this information accurately, and to get it out there. Okay, so I purposed in my heart last night. I already got the PowerPoint presentation down packed, and now I'm going ready to record the lecture. And I decided to do this around 2 or 3 in the morning. That's when it's a lot of stillness. You know, that's when I can flow a lot easier. That's when, you know, I can channel a lot easier. So I purposed in my heart, took naps throughout the day and purposed in my heart, okay, now I'm getting ready to film this lecture. I did finally get it done. So to my family that felt like they were being ignored and I couldn't talk, I'm ready now, okay? I'm ready. It's done. But here's the thing. So while I was sitting around, you know, getting dressed and trying to put the finishing touches on this presentation, my little sister comes and starts banging on the door, right? She's banging on the door. Boom, 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 boom. And so I open up the door and I'm like, what's going on? And she says, I want to tell you, you have a whole deity dressed in white that's standing outside of your door. I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm going to tell you something. Instant panic kicked in, right? I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. She said, yes, you do. I said, no, I don't. She said, yes, you do. Like we were going back and forth. And she finally said, okay, I'm just telling you what I saw. My heart started pounding out of my chest, right? And I said to her, well, what does it look like? Like, what does it want? She said, I don't know what it wants. She said, but it's a male. You know, he's tall. He's dressed in white. And she said, when I saw him, it did a double take like this. And I guess it realized that she was able to actually see him. And when she was able to see him, that's when he kind of faded out. But he was standing in front of my door. All right, let me tell y'all something. Okay, I refused to go back in that room, right? I didn't know what the deity wanted. You know, I didn't know who it was. And I'm telling my little sister, you know, I'm like, well, you got to go in. And you know, I need for you to go in and get rid of it. Whoever it is, go in there and get rid of it. And she's laughing because she's like, come on. She's like, Vela, I am very surprised that you're scared. And she said, you know, you have been seeing, you know, these angels and spirits since you were born. Like, why are you scared now? I'm going to tell you why I was scared. And this is my confession. I was scared because, you know, in some of my more recent videos, Sophie has been coming off very strong. Okay, very strong, very assertive. And I don't know whose toes I may have been stepping on. And I'm only the vessel that's channeling the energy, you know. So I keep telling people, don't charge it to my heart. You know what I mean? I'm an avatar. I'm harnessing this energy. I didn't know what this being that she saw wanted. Okay. And so panic started kicking in right then and there. And I'm like, friend or foe, friend or foe, friend or foe type of thing. So I refused to go in the room. I was refusing to go in the room. And she kept saying, no. The energy is light. Like, you got to go in the room and you got to feel the energy. And I said, well, where are you feeling it? Because recently my sister has now started really, really tapping into her gifts as well. It was like it all came as a flood to her. And she said, I feel it in my heart chakra. Okay. I feel it here. You know, it's pounding, and he was just standing outside of your door. So I'm like, well, did he get in? And she's like, I don't know, just go in there and check. And I was not willing to go in there and check because I didn't know if somebody was coming to confront me about something. So I took my cat, okay, the cat named Coco. You saw her in the other videos. I had already initiated her, to be a spiritual protector. And I learned how to do this from one of my other clairvoyant sisters who was tapping into the energy of Bastet, who was teaching me how to do these animal initiations, right? So I did a video about that a long time ago. If you have pets and you want them to, operate in their highest level of animal intelligence, or if they're willing to serve on Lyran councils and things like that. And I know that this sounds a little far-fetched for people who aren't operating as mystics, okay? But it's a real deal. So, I take the cat, I take the cat Coco and I just throw her in the room. And I'm holding on, and I'm looking how this cat is going to react. Now, my previous cat, Magus, if there was a negative energy in the room, he would arch his back and his fur would stand up and he would start jumping sideways, like doing that sideways thing that cats do, and I love it. But Coco goes in the room, and she sits around and she looks, and then she just lays down and starts licking herself. So I'm like, okay, well, it must be fine. So I'm tiptoeing in the room. I'm tiptoeing in the room, and my little sister's pushing me in my lower back and was like, Vel, you cannot be scared. How can you, of all people, be scared? You've been doing this your entire life, right? So I get into the room. And I'm looking around, and I'm feeling the energy, and I do feel it in my heart chakra. So I'm like, okay, here it is. This is a positive. This is a loving being. But when I closed my eyes and started to see this being in my third eye, this being had his arms crossed like this, right? And he was leaned up against the wall. And the energy that I was getting from this being was, oh, now you're scared. You've been talking real reckless lately, but now you're scared, right? So I said, wait a minute. I said, are you friend or foe? Are you coming to beef with me about something? Are we getting along right now? And this being said, no, we're not getting along. And I said, did I do something to offend you? And he was going, oh yeah, right? But he still had this smile on his face. And he was telling me that I had a smart mouth. And he was like, you got a real smart mouth, like you out here talking slick. And when I recognized the energy, I said, come on, you remember me. I've always talked like this. You've known me from eons and eons and eons. Since when have I not had a smart mouth? Okay. So I'm interacting with this deity, that was in there, that had his arms crossed and was just standing there, very intense, very intimidating with the energy, right? But, was coming for pretty much to confront me and tell me, that I got a smart mouth. I was scared, y'all. I'm going to be honest. I was scared. And I shouldn't be scared because I have faced plenty of dark energies. But for some reason, this one made me nervous. Okay? This one made me really, really nervous. I ended up having a telepathic communication with it. And then I went ahead and recorded my video. And the video, the lecture went pretty doggone good. It's over and done. I think it was the best that I could do. Okay. And other than that, I just went ahead and submitted it and, hope for the best, right? Meanwhile, this is what I meant to tell you because, my little sister was in awe, everybody's in awe with the fact that I was scared to go and face whoever this deity was that was in white, that decided that they were going to pay me a visit, okay? Now, if you understood that the energy that was coming off of them is like, you're not so brave right now. Why aren't you as brave as you are in your little videos, And me sitting there going, listen. We don't have any beef. Okay? We're on the same team right now. I don't have no problems with you. Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's learn how to forgive and forget. Stop bringing up old stuff. Stop bringing up old stuff. This isn't worth our time. Okay, we're bigger than this. This is how I'm talking to this energy. It's making him smile, because he's watching me backpedal. And I was backpedaling. I really was. The whole point of this video is Yes, I was born this way, okay? Absolutely, I've had the ability since I was young to tap into these realms, to see these angels, to see these ascended masters, to even see demons, to talk to them, to even see the dead, okay? But the whole point of this is it doesn't make it easier. This is not something that you just typically get used to. It's still jarring. Do you understand? It's still jarring when a deity makes their presence known. Now, I'm used to them being in my energetic field and me having the ability to tap into that consciousness. But when they decide to come and pay you a visit, typically it's either to teach you something or confront you about something. And for some reason, in my mind, I felt like I was getting ready to be confronted. And I was confronted. I was. But I charmed my way out of this one. I'll tell you that one. I charmed my way out of this one. I had to tap into that Sophia energy and just talk and talk and talk. Because this one was like, You know, he was, come on in the room. Come on in the room. You doing all of this? Come. It doesn't get easier. Even now, with this great awakening, many of you are still tapping into your gifts. And if you've already had these gifts, they are becoming magnified at this time. And it doesn't mean that this is something that you're just going to naturally get used to. It can be a very intense experience, especially when you're a clairsentient and you understand and can read energy. I'm telling you this because I don't want y'all upset with the avatar. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't channel outside entities. I channel from inside, okay? From my DNA, from my cellular remembrance. And if you understand what it's like to be multidimensional, you know that there is an emanation of yourself that exists in every single dimension, right? And even though they are of the singular consciousness, like for instance, Sophia consciousness is a singular consciousness. However, these emanations may exist or have existed in different eons of time. And they operated differently, which means that, you know, some of them have slightly different personalities. It doesn't mean that I have a multiple personality disorder or anything like that. It means that sometimes when my higher self starts to speak and there's something, a message that needs to really come through, it may come across as being very stern, very authoritative, okay? But if you understand who Sophia was and who and what she represented, you will also understand that there's not all of her emanations are not going to be, they're not going to come across as loving and kind. Understand that one of her emanations was still considered the queen of heaven. All right. So if you are a queen or in queenship or kingship, all of your transmissions aren't always going to be light and love. Okay. Because you have to have the ability to speak with certain levels of authority. You're going to have the ability to wield that sword when it is necessary, okay? And it doesn't take away from the essence of who I am. Vela is loving and fun and wild, okay? Vela is the adrenaline junkie. You know, Vela is the jovial soul, the cut up, you know, like to dance, like to sing, you know, like to do these things. But when my higher consciousness starts to come through, you're not dealing with Vela anymore. And it's something that I'm still getting used to. And I'm admitting this to you because sometimes I go back and I look at my own transmissions. I always go back to see and to review what it is that I was saying. And sometimes it's even jarring to me. And once I'm listening to him, I'm going, oh my God, who did I offend? Am I offending people? You know, who did I upset? I made some people mad now. And I'm being constantly told and reminded that that's not my job to be sitting in that. Of course, I'm going to make some people angry. Of course, I'm going to make some people upset. Of course, it's going to trigger. But if I am doing my job, this trigger for you is not to keep you in a vein of anger or disappointment or anything like that. It should be, it's a frequency that is going out. Okay, when I speak from my highest Sophia consciousness, that is a frequency that I am sending out. I am broadcasting that transmission. And it is designed to activate or provoke. Okay? Even if it's designed to provoke individual thought, it's designed to be transformative. Sophia and that emanation is a transformative energy. Okay? So I apologize when it comes across harsh or stern or matter of fact, but this energy is not passive all the time. All right. So now you're telling me that there's a full-grown deity standing outside of my door. What do you think is going through my mind? My mind is somebody is getting ready to confront me. Do I have to fight, or can we be in this energy of love and harmony and peace? Okay, or are you coming to confront me? And it was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of both. Those of you who are multidimensional beings, and you recognize that you're multidimensional, okay? And when you start activating and awakening, you're going to have the ability to tap into your previous emanations. All right. It is widely known, in the esoteric text that Sophia herself had to self-realize in all 13 eons. That's no different than any of our journeys. Okay. We're all here to self-realize in all of the eons in which we have resided. And why? Because some of them are lessons that we need to learn. Some of it is about karma that we need to clear. Some of it is about embracing our shadow side, or whatever it is, we have to start self-realizing. And sometimes we have to correct some behaviors that was in the past. And I wasn't always agreeable. Do you understand? So that was some of the awakening and some of the karma clearing that I had to deal with. When you get to this point, you kind of know when that energy starts to rise up in me. Okay, when I'm doing a transmission and I feel that energy rise up in me, and it's almost like a shaking type of thing, and my speech might start getting tongue-tied, but then boom, I'm tapping into my higher self, and I'm talking to you from my higher self. It's not me that is sending these transmissions out, okay? And it's not for the entire of humanity that I'm sending these transmissions out. It's for a certain class of people, because what is happening is now we're being kind of triggered to go into that transformative type of energy. She's pushing for the chosen, for the elects to start to stand in their power and to recognize who they are. And sometimes we have to cut through the red tape to get to that. And it comes across a lot sterner. And when I'm looking at it, I'm only imagining what other people might be thinking when they're listening to me talk from that position of authority, from that position of power. So yes, I got very nervous when somebody came to pay me a visit and tell me, you got a real smart mouth. Sorry? I don't know what to do about that. There are times where my transmissions will be light, loving and nurturing. That's when I'm tapping into my highest emanation of Sophia, that is incorporating that unconditional love, that nurturing, that motherly aspect. But with all parents, okay, even if I am operating from a motherly aspect, all parents aren't always loving and soft with their children when they need them to see something. Okay? I'm not here to make enemies. I'm not here to trigger people. I'm not here to, piss people off. I'm not. But I am here to broadcast that frequency that evokes change, evolution, growth, activation, thought. I am asking for your forgiveness for those who are watching me and thinking, oh my God, you're being cutthroat or you're in the ego. It has nothing to do with the ego. Okay. And I've had somebody tell me that before. And I'm laughing at that situation, because I feel as if, number one, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. Okay. So it's not even me that you're dealing with. And number two, I feel like it's the ego of the person that's receiving it that can't handle the message that is coming through. So now it's being projected. Okay. It's being projected because all I'm doing is speaking the truth. And it's the way that you receive it. I can't change that. I know what my intentions are, and my intentions are pure and they are honorable, because I can tell you, in 100% that I have your best interest at heart. I hate nobody. I'm not here to really beef with anybody. Okay. I'm just here to do what I was called to do. So to y'all deities out there that's listening, who have the ability to astral project, don't bring y'all tails to my house to harass me and scare me to death because you don't like what it is that I am saying. And truthfully told, I shouldn't have been scared. I really shouldn't have been scared, but I was really, really scared. I threw the cat in there. That came in, but I dealt with it. Don't start astral projecting to harass me about something. It's not Vela, okay? It is the emanations, okay? It is my higher self. It is the journey, and it's all about the journey. And my journey is about love, but it's also about teaching, and it's also about correction, okay? That's all I wanted to share with you. I got everything done that I needed to get done, so you're getting ready to witness a different style of teaching now, okay? It's time to up the ante a little bit. So I will be doing my videos slightly different, but I think that you'll enjoy it, and it'll give you a lot of resources to reference things with, okay? I'm coming back, guys. I am Sophie. I love you all. Bye.